Hey Soccerholics, it's great to be back with another brand new episode. This morning we are featuring yet another club for the first time ever as Newcastle United play away to Crystal Palace. The Magpies are currently in 13th place and have won the reverse fixture back at the end of December. Meanwhile, the Eagles have lost their last 3 games in a row, including 2 at home. So let's talk with the Newcastle fans first. What does it mean to you to have a pub like this where you're seeing your rivals in the same place? It's got to be a bit eerie.
Not too much, honestly. We have a great relationship between the two clubs. Our old pub was the same, we were both there. Today will be exciting and interesting, but as you'll see, we're all sat together. We have a good relationship, but maybe not so much when Almiron scores a winner again, but we'll see.
Right. Over to Palace, how are you going to stop the rot? Like I said, lost the last 3 games in a row. How are you going to change that?
Benteke is starting to hopefully pick up a form again. He bagged a goal against Everton, so hopefully he's going to pull something out. Who knows? We are coming off an injury spell. We're getting some of our guys back. We're hoping for something from this result.
All right. Okay, guys, see what happens. Should be a cracker of a match. Up next, it's Palace versus United from Selhurst Park for match day number 27 in the English Premier League. A reverse fixture result for Crystal Palace, winning 1-0 at Selhurst Park against Newcastle United. I'm with Shane and Colin from the Newcastle United Supporters Club. Guys, first of all, what do you think about the performance of your team? I mean, you had a chance in the first half. Dubravka did very well, and then what happened?
Garbage. Absolute garbage.
I don't remember even the chance. We just have our centre midfielders never pass it forward once. We have no creativity, no forward momentum, no target man. Our wingers are too one-footed to actually create anything. We just don't even know. We were talking about how long that game would have to be for us to even score, and I would think it would take about 3 games worth for us to even score. I don't see where goals coming from.
Yeah, I was saying the same. I mean, I'm an outsider watching the game. I thought, who are we looking to on the Newcastle side to get you in the game? And I can't see one player like Dubravka was the best player on the pitch for me, but obviously he's not going to score the goals. But Newcastle is just not the same team since the Rafa Benitez days, are they?
We do better against good teams because we sit back. Our team's built to defend and maybe counter-attack, and then hopefully with a set piece, one of our defenders scores out of a header or a deflection or something. In terms of when we're playing against an even-ish team, no offense, we don't know what to do when we've got the ball. If we've got to break somebody down, somebody who's actually built to defend us, there's no, I'll go back a few years now, but there's no Ben Arthur, there's nobody who's going to, Maximus, St. Maximum, you hope he's going to cut inside and drill one in the top corner, but he's only done that once, and that was against a League One team. You just don't see anybody who's got that creativity, that flair, anything that's going to just make something happen. And our set piece delivery today, any of it was just awful. Hitting the first man, free kicks not getting in the box. I don't know if it was the wind or just generally that we've got terrible players, but that was pretty much we didn't have anything at all.
All right, let's get Palace's view. Chris will get some questions here.
Well, thank you so much. Well, I'm here with Joel and I'm here with Andrew. And Palace, you guys are celebrating 3 points,
Huge.
so it's 1-0.
Yeah.
6, so it's a big 6-point swinger. So now, bear with me, Newcastle. They've jumped above you guys, but the race, which I think is the narrative here, is both teams here are trying to just secure, so that way then they can start to build an identity again and go forward. Because sometimes it's just so tough when you're trying to make it to 40 and everything else. But what does this point mean to you guys going forward now? You guys are 7 points away now. 2-3 game more matches, from relegation.
Any steps we take towards lessening our chances to get relegated. I mean, this was a huge match for us, because we are now 33 points on the table, and it's only end of February. This is amazing for a Palace fan. We're having a fantastic year. A lot of people give us a lot of razz us, but no, we're 33 points in at the end of February. This is amazing for us, and that was an awesome point. That was an awesome 3 points / 6 points, because we really needed that to get ahead of Newcastle on the table.
I agree, though, and the thing was, it was the set piece that made the difference. But I'm looking at it similar to Newcastle. There's a bit of an issue about who's going to be the person. I know a lot of people are pointing to Zaha and everything else, but it turned out, unfortunately, that we had a defender in this case from the set piece that made the difference in this big match that could have easily ended 0-0.
Yeah, so set pieces are always our sort of the way we get goals. PVA stepped up today, with the captain out, but Yeah, I mean, we take them where we can get them, and we build it from the back, I suppose, right? I mean, we defend and we take the goals where you can get them, I suppose.
So, Shane Conn, we'll ask you some questions regarding the club now. So, interesting statement. This is a really bizarre statement by Steve Bruce earlier this week. He said about Joelinton. Obviously,
I thought we were talking about the bacon.
Yeah. He's just not. So, apparently, he said that he's not interested in scoring goals. Now, it comes to a point where, how does it change for a club when you value a player at £40 million? Is there a lot of pressure on that player to then come and perform? And then for the fans not to get on him? Of course the fans are going to get on him because you're buying him to make your club better. Where do you see that?
Well, I think obviously there's going to be pressure on a player that comes in at that value, especially in Newcastle United. We have a history of putting pressure on our players, but rightfully fucking so. We've spent the money. We expect to see goals. The fact that we played him on the left today shows that we have no confidence in him whatsoever. I think the biggest problem is that we're not making the substitutions soon enough. Dwight Gale should have come on at the beginning of the second half. Give him some time to get into the formation, understand what he needs to do, and score a goal for us because Joelinton's not doing it, and we have no confidence in him. The manager has no confidence in him. I think that we have a history of applying pressure to our players, but that's expected. You're coming to Newcastle, you should know that coming in.
Yeah. When Steve Bruce was hired in July last season, a lot of fans were angry about that. Now, I don't know why that is. Can you shed some light? And also, how has he now done 7 months into the job?
Well, we're angry because, look at his track record. He's taking more people down than anybody. I think his record is getting people relegated. Personally, I didn't hold that against him because it's if somebody asked me to be CEO of Apple, I'd take the job, sure. I don't know how to do it, but I'd take it. I'd take the salary, I'll do whatever, and he supports us and all this. He's done better than I thought he would. I will be honest with that. I think he tried to do it his own way, and then realised actually let's just off Rafa's tactics book and formation, everything. So he's kind of copied what Rafa's doing. So he's doing a bit better than I think, and he has no involvement or say at all in transfers. So Joelinton was done 90% before he even signed. So it's not like he's buying players or any of them. And Joelinton, if you look at what he played in Germany, he was actually a right winger. Yeah. He's never scored that many goals. So I don't hold any of the crap that we're watching on telly against Bruce necessarily. I think he's given us some great games against Chelsea, Everton, comeback, Man United win the first one. I don't hold that against him personally. I think he's doing better than I thought he would. But again, it's all to do with the ownership. Ashley, we're hoping he's going to be gone soon. We get these private investment from Saudi Arabia take us over.
Come save us. Ashley out. Ashley out.
I was going to ask you views about Ashley.
Ashley out. Ashley out. Ashley out.
But I would say with a pinch of salt, the takeover rumours have been here 4 or 5 times before. So none of us actually believe it's going to happen, but we just hope and pray that it will. But Bruce he's fighting with one arm behind his back. He doesn't have any say in transfers. He's doing the best he can. I think if Carroll had been fit all season, he was starting to play Carroll instead of Joelinton, and then Carroll's injured. Carroll's just not durable enough at the minute.
He shouldn't be playing Lazaro though.
Okay. All right, Chris, final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. Honestly, I'm looking at it like this. Newcastle and Crystal Palace, they share something very similar to what I'm thinking of. Is how do these two sides get to be in that conversation that we're seeing with Wolves, we're seeing with Leicester City, and you know what? I'm even going to throw in Sheffield United as well. But how do you build a good core team? Because soccer, I feel, works in cycles. So how does Crystal Palace, or I know we had Newcastle's point of view, but how does Crystal Palace now get into that next cycle to propel themselves into the top half and maybe into a European position going forward?
European position. I'm kind of unique as a Palace fan because I like our squad as it is, and I know it's an old squad, and I know we're a mid-table team. I mean, of course. Going forward, we get a lot of flack for having an old squad and having kind of relying on the old standbys. Chances are this is Wilkes last year. We need to get new blood, yes. I'm happy with the way things are. I got to repeat what Steve Parrish said in his video recently, which is we have a solid squad. Maybe a good striker, maybe a little bit of young blood going forward, but this year let's concentrate on mid-table. Maybe next year an FA Cup run, maybe the year after that, top 6. I don't know, top 10.
Top 6.
We had a top 10 run a couple years ago.
What do you think? What do you think? Next season, would you like Crystal Palace to go for a cup run to kind of give you guys that excitement, that adventure? We're seeing with Aston Villa maybe during the finals for the Carabao Cup. What do you think? Do you think a cup run would be nice for the fan base?
We're a London club, right? We've got to spend money. We're not a small club. We've got to spend money like a London club. I think it's inevitable. We need to spend money, and we need to make a run. I think you're absolutely right.
Okay. All right. That sounds good, babe. Ben.
Well, that's it, guys. Thanks to everyone for coming out. Big shout out to 817 Sports Bar and Grill on Queen Street for hosting not one, but 2 supporters clubs, which would just be unusual in any other circumstance in England. Until next time, thanks for watching Soccerholics TV. Subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll see you next time for another episode.